Welcome to my Brakkesh guide. I know there's a lot of people that have come to my chat, to other chats, and asked how to play the map because they just don't know how to play it. Hopefully, this guide helps you guys out. Alright, so if I was just playing this spawn, depending if I want to get aggressive or not, I would go either right towards Cherrytown, or maybe even left to the Zortown, because there's a spawn like right over here, a spawn right here by camp, and then also another spawn that spawns right across the street from the Royal Museum. So you have three teams here, but I like going down Cherrytown because it's a straight lane. There's not much. I'm not getting shot from all sides most of the time. It's kind of like I have the perfect flank around. Now, if I was not super deep into PvP, didn't have a lot of money, I would probably end up going down straight down Brakkesh Grand Hamad. If I'm saying that wrong, my fault. And like you can see on the map right here, there's a safe. There's also a flight case, a bunch of little boxes that are pretty good. And if I wanted to continue down the path, I would go straight to parking lot, straight to museum as quick as possible, and try to see if I can get there first before anyone else, and try to loot as much as possible. But if I was a straight PvPer, for me personally, as a gamer, I'd go down Cherrytown in the straight line because there's three spawns: one by Cherrytown, one by Hotel, and one over here in the at the far end that you run into. And once you either wipe them all or you die, whatever, I go straight to tower, because by the time you get over here, the door's already opened, people are already fighting, loot's already on the floor, even more chance to fight. Either kill them all, let's say, assume that you lived through all of this, you get to loot tower for free by the time you get there. Either it's already looted and people looted it for you, free, or you kill the people before they loot and you get to loot it anyways. And by the time you're done with the tower and you still want to fight because you're either not full as a team or whatever, you go straight to museum, because for some reason in this game, a lot of people love to play museum pretty late, not early. So you usually end up seeing a team in there, especially with two of the evac buttons over here. So it's kind of free. So when I spawn up here, I usually end up either going into the building or going right like I did here. Mainly I go right here because there's a lot of fights that can happen down this lane, and it usually happens fast and quick, and it's very enjoyable. And when I'm done with all the fights in this lane, I usually make my way towards tower. When I go up these stairs, I usually end up checking mid, because if I see anything mid, depending on they're across the street or in museum, I like going in there. If I don't see anything at all and it's dead quiet, I like going tower, because usually there's one or two teams in there, which means a lot of loot, a lot of juice, and a lot of opportunities to kill people, which is always, great. If I was playing solo with no teammates, I would never go down this lane. It's just a little too dangerous, too many people, and not a big chance that you survive. As a 3-man, I really love this spawn because you have two opportunities to go either left or right. There's always a spawn, or there's always a chance for someone to spawn on left or right. So you could easily flank someone real quick, and then you have these two buttons, one on the right, one on the left, and it warns you if somebody's trying to open the door, which obviously lets you know there's a team there, and you could easily hit them from the back and try to get a free kill before they get inside. But you also have to be aware that they can indeed have a key card that lets them go in instantly without having to wait for the timer, which if they do that, it shows up as a gray mark on the map instead of green, and all the doors on that side will be open, either on the first floor or on the second. In this situation, we ended up flanking the other team real quick. They ended up using the key card, going in, and running straight to the other side because the other side was being opened by a whole different team. So we were able to come behind them without them really noticing, because they were too busy on the people on the other side, and we were able to get a free wipe while they wiped the other team coming inside from the other side of the door.
Oh, they're dead. All dead.
Stock your supplies.
Oh, no, bro. Yes, sir.
That's crazy. If you end up spawning on the right side, there is some loot there, like mini safes and the med crates and other boxes. It's not that crazy, kind of low on the quantity, but it's a good place to be safe and loot when you want to, and you can end up going from that route straight to tower and get some good fights on that way over there. And it all depends how you want to play it out. When I spawn on either side of the tower, I usually end up running to the complete opposite side because it gives the other team less info. It can give me more info when they press the button to go inside in the first place. This gives me a chance to flank them behind, get free kills, and take the door that they were going to take anyways. I would also be careful of the mid area because there is another team spawn that could spawn there. Usually you can tell if they're there by a little sniper scab that's on top of this building that shoots at them while they're crossing, which gives you good info to see if you're in danger or not when you're crossing over to the other side. If you're solo and you don't want to get into conflicts, this is a really bad spot for you. You probably want to try to get out of here as fast as possible, either from far right, just hug the wall, and hopefully a team isn't coming from that access area. You could also go down the middle. Usually that team that does spawn there gets out of there pretty quickly, so you can kind of either follow in their footsteps or just wait until they pass and go right past them. There is a fight container that spawns really good loot right by the evac on the right side. You could also hit that for free loot. It's pretty safe as well. Brakkesh is not the hardest map to eat back from, but it's also not the easiest. In Museum, there is 2 buttons. One activates the top one, which is only 1 use. One activates the normal one, which is unlimited, but very heavily contested. There's also no backpack, which is on the top left. Obviously, it's in the name. You can't use it. You can't have a bag on you. There's also a dog tag evac in tower. It's kind of dangerous because obviously you have to go through tower to do this. It requires 2 dog tags. And it's a really quick evac if you do get there. But like I said, it's dangerous. Very high population in this area. So I would try to be aware. If I was trying to get out safe and I had a team with all bags and we're not taking no bag, I would go to Museum, hit both buttons if I can, because the top right one is only 1 use. The reason why I'm hitting both evacs is because it gives me more options to play with, makes the enemy teams start guessing which side I'm going on. It keeps me safer as a result, and it's just better overall. If I'm solo, I'd probably end up worrying about taking either the dog tag evac at the end of the raid or go no bag, depending on what kind of loot that you found during the raid. If you have a team, you're going to have to work together and try to get either evac on either the top right or the bottom middle. You can easily wait towards the end of the raid when people start leaving or dying. It makes it a lot safer. But obviously, if you want to leave during the middle of the raid or early, you're going to have to be ready for the risk, because there is a good chance people would push you right off spawn and try to kill you when you're trying to evac. So always be aware at your evacs, because this map, a lot of people will want to try to kill you towards the evac. So the spawns off spawn far left is very dangerous in the very beginning, because people usually path that way. People spawn there. People run through towards tower. Museum. There's a lot of ways you can go during that spawn. So off spawn, if you're solo or not very confident in your PvP abilities, I would try to avoid that area. Either go straight down the middle, because it's usually not that populated off the bat, or go right side, because right side's usually empty for the most part, except the people spawning there, and usually they run away anyways. So I'll just be aware. Obviously tower, no matter where you spawn towards tower, it's going to be pretty populated. So anywhere, beware. Just try to either, if you're not trying to PvP, avoid fights. Try to run away, if anything, and get a position to where you won't get shot from every single side. If I'm not worried about PvPing and I'm just trying to get in there, maybe have some fights, but nothing crazy, get some loot, I would end up going down the middle, hit all the safes I can in the middle, go straight down towards Museum as early as I can. Usually teams aren't always there. Sometimes you might run into one, but it's nothing crazy. If you can win that one fight, you usually have Museum for free. You probably want to loot there. You don't want to stay there for very long, because that's probably the most popular place for people to run through, especially with 2 evac buttons being there. It's just a little too hot of an area. For newly beginners, especially people that have not played this map at all, just be aware that this map is very dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous maps in the game, besides like Space City. But it's a really good map, and I really do recommend you guys learn it, because playing only 0 dam, which people come into my chat and be like, how do I play Brakkesh? And they don't even play Brakkesh because they just don't know the map. I really recommend trying to learn it. It's hard, but rewarding. I think Brakkesh is my favorite map, and I would love to show you my knowledge so it becomes your favorite map as well. Hopefully this video helps you out.